So if you have melanated skin like I do, you still need sunscreen and SPF.
If you're pale AF as me, you need to get some SPF. Welcome to the EasySpeak Speakeasy.
You've unlocked the door to unfiltered mental health and wellness conversations. All right.
Okay.
Here we are, episode 19.
Sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
Which is how we say it here in the Boston area.
Yeah, in the Northeast.
Unlike the rest of the world who copies us. Only at this time of the year.
Yeah, well, they all come over here to see the foliage.
Yeah.
So
come look at the leaves.
Leaf peeping. It is really beautiful.
Peep some traffic while you're here, because that's really what's happening.
It's true. You call it leaf peeping. We call it any day after 2 p.m.
Yeah. We call it thanks for adding to the traffic problem that we're already dealing with.
It's so bad. There's so many people here in
Who's
Massachusetts. That? Our leadership team is here today. They are our live studio audience, and they have obviously forgotten about our podcast etiquette that we just talked about 2 minutes ago.
Just talked about.
It's okay. It wouldn't be the first time we got interrupted during a podcast.
I mean,
We've had dogs, fire alarms.
That's true.
Microchips. Children.
You know, I mean, this is called the one good thing that happened post-pandemic.
Yeah.
Quote unquote post-pandemic, because watch out. Is that people are like, oh yeah, you guys have a dog?
Yeah.
Oh, you have children?
Yeah.
You do.
Exactly. I know, I did love that. It really brought a more human aspect to everyone. It was like, this isn't just Karen that I see in the office. Now I'm staring at Karen's china cabinet.
Yes.
And listening to her husband make coffee in the morning
100%.
As we're trying to meet.
I love when people have their thing blurred out, but it's you can still see everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think that person had clothes on, ma'am.
Damn, you got a cat fetish? That's mad cats in that cabinet. I saw that. Anyway, so today we're talking about sweater weather because the air is finally starting to turn a little crisp. And we see some turning of the leaves, and also simultaneously we're losing daylight hours, it feels like, right?
Yeah, we definitely are.
Yeah, so I saw something a couple of weeks ago on my Instagram because people...
Hold that thought. Who's coming in?
It's me.
Winnie. Do you remember the podcast situation we talked about?
She was on the phone. She was being a kid.
I know, but the bell's on the door.
Sorry.
It's all up in there. Come sit and listen. Did you come for the podcast or did you come to talk on the phone?
I got a vendor call.
Oh.
I took a call outside to not interrupt, but I'm back.
Make yourself a drink.
There's some gin on the table.
All right.
Just get a straw and put it in the bottle.
Maybe later.
It's the easiest way to get her done.
She's maybe later. So
where's Allison?
She's on the phone.
Oh, more bells coming in hot in a couple minutes.
It's all right. It's festive.
We should name this episode Jingle Bells.
Oh, we will have a Jingle Bells episode. I cannot wait. I have my outfit planned already in my head just now. So we are talking about sweater weather. So what prompted it for me was, because people love to be so positive on social media all the time. And somebody posted that it was the last time the sun was going to set after 7 p.m. in 2023.
Yeah, until March something.
Until March. And it was like, okay, we're back in it.
I could feel the chunks rising.
I know. And I remember when I was younger, daylight savings time, it didn't feel like it affected me as much. Mm-hmm. And now I have a bunch of theories as to why. But over the last couple of years, it's been like such a struggle because the clocks are gonna fall back soon.
Yeah, and then it's like at 3:30.
Yeah, it's like
you're
dark.
Looking outside, like
there goes the sun. Yeah.
There goes the sun. Wah 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 wah.
So sad. It's so sad. And like, and so, you know, and so we always talk about like seasonal affective disorder, especially in the Northeast and like other places where the time changes and all of that. And I just thought it would be good to kind of like talk about it now before those clocks fall back, because, you know, I feel like it always like hits me that I'm affected by it, and then I'm like battling to try to like overcome it.
Yeah.
Versus like being proactive.
Yeah.
So,
I'm never prepared.
Yeah.
I don't even know when the clocks fall back, do you?
No, I have no. Sometime in October, I think.
Alexa, when do the clocks fall back?
In Massachusetts, daylight saving time started on March 12, 2023 at 2 a.m. and will end on November 5th, 2023 at 2 a.m.
November 5th. Okay. So
right
after Halloween. So, I mean, you know, that's one of those things.
Allison's trying to tiptoe down the stairs.
So, this episode is going to be very fun to watch back. So, you know, I think it would be good for us at this episode to kind of share some like proactive strategies that maybe you and I can take part in for once. But, you know, I think a lot of times people don't really understand the correlation between sunlight and our overall health, including our mental health. So I also wanted to like take some time to really talk about it, you know.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Because I actually feel the same as you, that when I was younger it didn't bother me as much.
Yeah.
But now I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, 3:30? The sun's going down?
Yeah.
Time for bed.
Time for bed, yeah.
I'm like, good night, world.
Yeah. People are like, let's meet for dinner. I'm like, is dinner at 2? Because, like...
I'm like, perfect. Early bird special.
Exactly. Senior citizen special.
Exactly.
Yeah. But, you know, my theory is, I think maybe why it didn't affect us as much when we were younger is because when we were younger, we were probably spending a lot more time outside, especially in the summer months, than we do as adults. And so, you know, I think a lot of people don't realize that there's a correlation between sunlight and feeling good and feeling healthy, because the sun and the UVB rays convert aspects of vitamin D into and help us to produce serotonin, which is neurochemical. It's a chemical that gets secreted in our brain, and has been implicated in like feelings of happiness and contentment, and even like things like sociability, right? So like, you know, I always think of like the winter as like my hibernation time. Like I'm not really going out as much. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like talking to people. But I found out recently that vitamin D and serotonin are also implicated in like how social we feel. And so, you know, when we talk about like seasonal affective disorder and depression, it's very much linked to how much sunlight we're getting. And if the sun is setting earlier and we're inside working all day as adults, we're missing out on that crucial component to like help us to be well.
Right. Also, we just as adults move our bodies way less than we do when we're younger.
Yes.
And then when it starts to get darker and colder, you know, like I'm more prone to take my dog for a walk at 8 p.m. in the summer than in the winter when it's pitch black.
Yeah.
You know, at
and
8
icy
p.m.
and cold.
Right. In the summertime, it's like, oh yeah, we can get one more walk in, you know, and just be outside or whatever. So I definitely think, it's annoying.
It is.
AF.
It is. And so like this year I'm thinking, you know, and again, we're in the Northeast where it gets really cold, you know, at certain points of the year. At the highest point of pitch black is also the highest point of freezing. And so like it's like a double whammy. Like you don't want to go anywhere. You want to stay home. You just want to be all cuddled up in your bed. Yeah. And so just thinking about being proactive, you know, there's a reason for daylight savings, and it has to do with farming, I think, right?
Don't get me started on daylight savings.
Because, like, why do we even have it anymore? I think
it's going to be stopping. Wasn't it passed?
I feel like I've heard that. Michelle's nodding her head that it passed. So when will the misery end?
I know. I thought we were done with it.
Yeah.
Because the last time I was in California, I helped climb up to change one of the high clocks.
Oh, yeah.
And we were like, this is going to be the last time we have to change this fucking clock.
Oh, yeah.
Wrong.
Yeah, no. It's still
happening.
happening.
We might have one more year.
Well, at least legislation.
What if we just didn't and we just kept operating on our own time?
I've thought about that before. I think that's possible, like, only if you literally live off the grid.
First of all, I could do what I want. As Mark said earlier, this is America.
Listen, your Brockton accent just came out. As Mark said earlier, I could do what I want.
Check my GIF on the website. I do what I want.
This is true. This is true. We did talk about how you were a Taurus last episode, so this shouldn't be surprising.
We talk about my Taurus ways a lot, actually. This incense is giving.
This incense is like her Taurus ways are acting up again.
It always is coming to me.
She needs a little extra razzle dazzle.
Razzle-dazzle.
Talk about she'll do what she wants. She doesn't have to adhere to societal timelines. But no, I feel that. I've definitely thought that before. It's like, you say it's 4 p.m. That's my 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Like, it's dark. Good night. See you later.
Time is a construct.
It is. It really is.
But seasonal affective disorder is a real thing.
It is.
And I actually have to say, there are a lot of people that I feel like give a lot of... Yeah, now it's going to you because you were talking so much trash about me. You see that? Universal shift. There are a lot of people that don't really take it seriously.
Yeah.
I think, one, people who may not suffer with it or deal with it. Mm-hmm. Not everybody considers mental health suffering.
Right.
So people who don't deal with it, I think, can oftentimes have this, like, shake it off kind of attitude about,
the sun sets earlier, so you're sad about it. Yeah.
But, you know, and that can make it difficult for people who are going through those feelings to seek out help or even talk about it if they feel like they're going to be made fun of or whatever the conversation may be. But it's really important to think about, you know, how do you feel listening to your body all the time? Yeah. You know, it's important to think, like, how can I combat this thing that I know affects me every year? Yeah. And what things work for me, what things don't. Have I even tried anything? Right. Because there's lots of different types of interventions. Yes. But first, maybe we should define what seasonal affective disorder is for people who don't actually know what that is.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I think it's helpful to define it because I think a lot of times people have it be synonymous with depression. Mm-hmm. And it's actually could be a myriad of things. So, you know, when we say affective, we're talking about our emotional state. So seasonal affective disorder is referring to that there are seasonally times where people have changes in their normal emotional regulatory mechanisms, and that can manifest in depression, which is, I think, probably the most common, and most common almost because I think it's the most salient and stark difference for someone who's not typically depressed, right? Like, I always say that someone who's depressed, like, always knows they're depressed, and then, like, it's the opposite of someone who's, like, manic. They, like, never know, but, like, everyone else around them knows, you know? And so with seasonal affective disorder, depression is, like, probably the number one complaint, but then it also can come with, like, anxiety, you know, and just, like, overall feelings of overwhelm that you just can't shake. And again, like, all of these a seasonal affective disorder is one of those things that I think can be a real testament to just how much the external environment that we're living in affects our mental health. And, Mother Nature and the environment around us plays a role in that too. And so, which is actually a pretty empowering position, because that means there are things, like you were saying, that we can do to mitigate and feel better. Mm-hmm. And, really those symptoms that we're feeling, that depression, that anxiety, is just our bodies signaling to us that it's deficient in some area, whether it's vitamin D because we're not getting enough sunlight, or because we just have stagnant energy because we're not moving around as much, or because we are socially isolating ourselves, which is kind of like a symptom of depression, but also a cause of it being darker out, mm-hmm. that we're also feeling disconnected and detached from the world around us, which could further perpetuate those feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And interestingly, it's exacerbated in some people post, quote unquote, pandemic, mm-hmm. because the functioning of the world is a little bit more disconnected. There's mm-hmm. more meetings that mm-hmm. are virtual. Mm-hmm. People aren't getting together in the same way. There are, I think, still a lot of people that are concerned about being in community environments. Mm-hmm. So there's already a decrease in socializing, which is so important for humans. Like, the human condition really lends itself to being in community with people. Yep. And then when you add, it's dark out, you don't want to go outside, it's cold, I don't want to put on 17 layers of clothing, like all of these different things that add up together. Yeah. And now you're seeing your friends and family even less mm-hmm. than you would, or maybe not participating in, an after work event, or, opportunity to go for dinner or whatever. Yeah. All of these things start to add up to more and more isolation. Yep. And I think one thing that everybody can relate to, that we kind of collectively, I feel like, learned through the pandemic, was that isolation is not our friend. Yeah. As human beings. Right. We just are not cool with lockdowns. Yes. We were all like, this is great for the first month, and then we were like, get me out of this hellhole called my home.
Can we be in each other's bubble?
Yeah.
And people started calling each other.
Do you want to join my bubble?
Do you want to join my COVID bubble?
Do you have any other bubbles that you're a part of? Yeah. Who are in your bubbles, and how many small children are in them? Yeah. Are you still saying that? Do they go to private school, so they're around other kids?
Yes.
Like, there was this whole checklist.
Yes. Yep.
Except us. We were like, we're in each other's bubbles, and also, so it's the one place that we're getting our dinner that gives us cocktails to go. See you Friday.
That was such a vibe.
And Saturday.
Yes.
And Sunday morning.
And see you again. Yeah. It's so true. Yeah. That like isolation is not cool. It really does a number. And there have been studies to show that, like, people who have more social connections live longer than people who don't, mm-hmm. And there's so much kind of wrapped up in that, but mm-hmm. I think that isolation is just not natural. And also it feels very natural to me in the winter to get home at 4 mm-hmm. and to be like, I'm glad I don't have to go back out in that again today.
Yeah. I'm like, and Netflix. Go.
Yeah, that feels completely natural and awesome too. So this is not to say that we have to like fight the urge to get down and cozy in mm-hmm. the winter time. It's just a matter of being aware of like how you're actually feeling, and mm-hmm. then taking the steps. But I think there are tons of things that we said, that people can do to be proactive. Do you have anything top of mind?
I think one thing that I always think about is the change of food. In the summertime, there's so much greenery, there's tons of fruit, like all these good things mm-hmm. that I think are more readily accessible if you go anywhere. People always have like all of these really good grown, from the earth kind of foods that are in the summer. Yeah. And in the winter, I feel they tend to be more like starches and other things that just aren't as like vibrant for our health. Mm. So just thinking about, how do you increase some of the foods that you're taking in? Like, are you making it a point to eat salads? Like, in the summer, I feel like everybody's, like, on salad. It's a nice, easy, cool thing to eat. No cooking involved. Yeah. But in the winter, you kind of lean more towards, like...
mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
Yeah. Oh, I could
That's
feel
how my aunt says... She's like right from the center of Boston. She says, mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes. I can see it. That's funny.
So yeah, like that, you know, like soul food, comfort food is like really
soup.
Like, you just bread. Yeah. You know, but you know, thinking about like, all right, I should be having salad or, you know, thinking about your plate, like how much of it is green. Maybe you're not having as much salad, but you're having green beans and broccoli and those other things that are really good for your body. That it can be so easy to just go into all of the feel-good foods.
It's true. And I mean, those feel-good foods also, like, they make you feel slower. Right. You know, they don't, you know, you eat a salad, you can keep going. You've got energy, you feel light. And have a plate of mashed potatoes and some slow-cooked braised beef. Gravy. Gravy.
Where's the gravy?
That's the gravy. So
it's
good.
True. Like
it's like a warm hug. You're like, oh.
You hardly ever hear anyone say, like, I can't do anything, I just had a salad.
Yeah, exactly. That's never a thing. Yeah. And
that last tomato just put me over the edge.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a really good point. I hadn't even considered the change of food with the seasons. It's a lot more squash, starch. Potatoes. And yeah, it's true. And then, of course, you know, Thanksgiving, stuffing, turkey, all that stuff. Right. Christmas. That's a great tip to think about food, you know. And then I always think about, and I might actually invest in one this year for myself and put it in my office, but one of those like lights.
Ooh, yeah.
So you can actually get lamps that mimic the kind of light that you would get from sunlight. And it helps your skin and your body to absorb vitamin D to convert it into those compounds that I talked about earlier to help with the serotonin boost, to help with, you know, all of that. So it overall helps with mood if you have that lamp somewhere in your house that you are frequently in. I think that's a really good tip. If you can, maybe we can link one.
Yeah. I think we can definitely link one.
Yeah.
Or a couple.
Yeah.
We need to do some Amazon affiliate marketing.
That's what I was just thinking. I mean, we'll do it. Don't worry about what that means. Just click on it, okay? Click on things we link.
Yeah. And then I think, you know, trying to find things that can bring people together, bring your group of people together that maybe you don't do. Like something that I do annually that's in the winter is I have a vision board party.
Yeah, that's always so fun.
Yeah, and it's like we come together, we have some drinks, we have some food, we have a lot of laughs, and we share a lot of positive things. You know, we talk about like our vision, what are we doing in the future, you know, and kind of support each other in all of the different things. Yeah. And so it's a nice way to like come together and everybody's dressed comfortable. Yep. It's, you know, it's not something that is super over the top. And everybody brings a little something to eat and a couple of magazines that we all contribute. And it's just a fun annual way to get people together. And it's also, I usually do mine around the holidays or like right after the holidays and the beginning of the year. And so it's kind of a nice thing to do after you've come through like the hustle and bustle of the holidays. Yeah. It's like officially winter. Yeah. You know, and now it's like, all right, so what are we doing between like January and like Valentine's Day? Even though the Valentine's Day stuff will be in the stores already.
We know how I feel about Valentine's Day.
And we know how I feel about it. So, can't wait for next year's Valentine's Day episode where Diana will be in all pink again and I'll be in black.
I might switch it up this year, color-wise.
To what, white and pink? Yes, that was a yes. Oh my gosh, you're gonna wear like a
Red.
white dress with like a pink belt.
Oh my God, so cute. Or like a red.
You'll look like cotton candy instead of Pepto-Bismol.
Oh, cloud of cotton candy.
Vom. A little ASMR moment. At the EasySpeak. That's how Haitians sip.
Sip tea or coffee.
It's true. And we usually have a little peanut butter sandwich that we dip in the coffee.
Look at Michelle.
She's like,
Michelle's
that.
nodding hard.
Talk about a warm hug. That's a warm hug right there. A little nice French baguette with some peanut butter and your hot cup of coffee. Mm-hmm. Just the right color of tan. Dip it. Eat it. Oh. It's been so long since I've had that.
This is a cracker, you're saying?
No, it's a baguette.
Oh, a baguette.
A baguette. Oh, baguette.
A cracker.
A cracker.
I thought you said a peanut butter cracker.
Give her a cracker.
I'm like describing this experience the whole time. She thinks it's Ritz.
Yeah, I'm trying to get on board with it. I'm like, okay, us Cape Verdeans do it different. But...
Yeah, it's like a French baguette with a big smear of peanut butter. It's so yummy. And you dip it. You dip it in the tea too. I'll dip my bread in anything really, as a Haitian.
We do the
Tea,
the
honey.
bread dipping.
Yeah.
Portuguese and Cape Verdean people too.
Yeah.
Coffee. Listen, when
Soup.
I was a kid,
Soup. Oh.
I used to get a bowl of coffee.
Soup.
Did you guys do this?
A bowl?
We would get a bowl of like coffee
Yeah.
with milk and sugar
Yeah.
and pieces of broken up bread inside of it, and that was our snack.
That sounds delicious.
Oh, it is.
That sounds
we could go make
delicious.
this after we're done. It's like
I want to make that after we're done.
Yeah.
It's a
I was
perfect
5
day
and I
for
was
it.
like, can I get some coffee and bread?
It's so true. Haitians did not care. I remember one time we were at my grandparents' house and we were having, I think, tea or coffee or something, and somebody was like, coffee makes kids short. And my grandmother was like, no, it doesn't. Like, she was like, get out of here with that mess. Like, that's not a thing.
She was like, don't come through here with your untruths.
Your negativity.
No one wants to hear that when we're drinking coffee and eating carbs.
Exactly. It probably was a day like today. Overcast, cold.
Exactly. And someone in the corner was like, that makes kids short.
Yeah.
And your grandmother was like, get over here. I'll show you what'll make you short. This belt.
Knock you down a few pegs. Why do you think you talk to me like that?
No one was talking to you. We're talking to each other.
Oh my gosh. Comfort foods are dope. And also,
Yeah.
if I'm in the need for comfort food every day, it might mean I might need to do something a little extra.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A little bit of exercise.
Yes.
Now we have a toilet flush happening.
Yep.
This is.
You can hear it,
Can you hear
Michelle?
Michelle?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Just talking about comfort food. Do it again.
Yeah. Comfort food and toilet flushes. Welcome to the EasySpeak.
Oh, never a dull moment.
Let's move it to the house, they said.
Yeah. Much more controlled environment, they say. Now she's trying to be quiet, shutting the door.
Everybody knows you just went pee because we heard it record on the EasySpeak podcast.
I was like, I didn't expect it to be.
What?
Nobody would have faulted you for waiting to flush, although I hate when people do that. Although I know it's good for the environment, I guess.
She's like,
Anyway,
I tried to go
okay.
outside and make a phone call. I got scolded. I had to go pee. I get scolded. I told her to put a straw in the gin.
This is how a complex starts. You start to be like, I can't do anything.
I can do anything over here. I don't even know why I come over here all the time.
I'm just picturing my kids' faces when you say that. Oh, man. Okay, so the lamp is a good, paying
What?
attention.
You know what I was gonna just say that I'm trying not to say, but I'm gonna say it anyways.
What? Just say it.
Look how I look.
Oh, look how I look. You wish you were there. That
was a night.
That was a night. We had a time that night. Anyway, watching what you eat. Now you're blushing. That was me. That was me last episode. I literally saw myself blush on camera for the first time, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I actually got blushy.
I can't remember what that was. Anyways,
something inappropriate.
Moving
anyway,
on.
So paying attention to what you eat.
Yep.
The lamp.
Exercise. Whether it's in the gym.
Yep.
Or getting out.
Yep.
During the daylight.
Yep.
Walking.
Yep. Yep.
Leaf peeping.
You
can leaf peep in your neighborhood.
It's true that.
Jeepers peepers. Jeepers creepers peepers.
What was that? That was a commercial for something?
Where'd you get those peepers? I don't know.
Jeepers peepers. That's all I remember.
Put that song in somewhere. There's a Jeepers.
I think that's
Peepers.
Creepers. I think that
Yeah.
Nobody in here knows the song?
Allison was nodding her head.
Yeah, it's from Jeepers Creepers.
Right, Allison?
Do you know how it goes?
Yeah.
Just like that.
Creepers.
Yes.
Get those peepers.
Yes.
And then someone gets killed.
Yeah.
And then they die.
It's almost spooky season, so that's fine. This is totally appropriate.
But that won't happen if you're out peeping the leaves and walking around.
No.
Air.
It's still good for your health. Do it.
Yeah. Do it.
Do it.
Do it for your health.
Do it for your health. All of a sudden we're like California. Do it for your health.
Is that how people in California talk?
Yeah, the blonde dude with the shirt off with the surfboard under his arm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Southern California.
Yeah, brah.
SoCal,
brah. SoCal, brah. I'll do it for your health.
That's something else that you can do is plan a trip to a warm and sunny place.
Oh, yes.
Get on that plane.
The retirees that go to Florida have it partly correct.
They are just...
The climate change venue situation is correct. The location...
Locale, TBD. But yeah, somewhere warm, sunny.
Sorry if you're listening from Florida.
I know, we still love you.
Some of y'all just... Anyway.
Don't DM us. Or you can.
You can. We're not in the business of banning people from doing things.
Let us know if you want to be a guest. We can have a nice combo.
Oh yeah. Speaking of guests.
That's how you learn about people and you build bridges.
Yes. I was just talking about this in relation to racism. There's this wonderful documentary. I probably mentioned it on here before, The Color of Fear.
Yeah.
Speaking of building bridges. It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got exercise, we've got lamp, we've got food. I think the obvious one is sunlight, vacation. I think another one is just like getting out in the sun. So, I like to encourage people, especially folks who have those back-to-back Zoom meetings. You're on meetings every single day. That's, another side effect of COVID for the professional sphere is that we have way more meetings than we ever did because we can fit them in now because there's no travel.
Yeah.
But I really like to encourage people, if there are meetings where you don't have to be in front of your computer, you don't have to be looking at a spreadsheet or whatever, and you're just having a discussion, take it on your phone and go for a walk during the day when the sun's still out so you can get that natural sunlight. And even on a day when the sun is not out, because we do tend to have a lot of overcast days in the winter time where it feels like the sun's not there, you still reap the benefits of those UVB rays during overcast.
The sun is a powerful bitch.
Yes, listen.
She's shining all the time.
Shining all the time. So even if it's overcast, going outside, that's why like when people say that they don't have to wear sunscreen on a day because it's raining, it's like
always wear your sunscreen.
Wear it every single day because the sun is super powerful.
Get a moisturizer.
Yes.
That has SPF in it, please.
Yes.
And put it on your face every morning.
Oh my gosh. I didn't start doing that until like 2 years ago. I did not recognize the importance of SPF, especially as a person of color. You don't grow up thinking you need SPF.
There's this idea with people of color that you won't get skin cancer, you won't get burned, or like any of these things. Untrue.
Yeah, so untrue. So untrue.
Myth.
Debunked right here on the EasySpeak.
Debunked.
So if you have melanated skin like I do, you still need sunscreen and SPF.
If you're pale AF as me, you need to get some SPF. I don't know. Everybody in my family's darker than me. I just needed a little bit. I didn't even get.
I was gonna say this summer you didn't even get a situation.
No, only my vacation that I went for my birthday, and that was in an entire another state island.
Yes, but yeah, you're right. Like,
yeah.
Anyway, this is way off topic from Weath-Ah, but I hope you all loved this episode. Please don't forget to rate, subscribe, and review.
I also want to give a huge shout out to our live studio audience.
Woo!
That did not laugh or applaud anything that we said, but flushed toilets, rang bells, and came down creaky stairs.
Yeah!
There you go.
That's right.
The only non-disruptive person was the dog.
True that. Biscuit has been such a good boy.
Oh, Biscuit.
Biscuit. We have to make his podcast debut soon.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyways. Subscribe, rate, and review.
And get out in the sun and, like, have fun.
Frolic in the leaves that you're peeping. Okay. That's all I have for today. Bye.